He assigned me an evening where I could cook a meal and lead a Bible study. And it's been 3 years now.
He cooks a good meal.
Well, the way I look at it is, we love all of our donations, but I want to do something special for the guys. So, chicken marsala, Sicilian meatloaf, 3 cheese ziti with 2 meats, or something special. I'll admit, I kind of bribe them because I want them at the Bible study. But they're all there. And Wednesdays have become like my second Sunday, because it's about God, it's about family, and it's about food. I go to work in the morning. I get home probably about noon. I begin preparing my Bible study. I call Nathan up. How many guys are going to be here tonight? I got to know how many copies I make and how much food I make. He lets me know. I start making dinner. I show up at about 6 o'clock. I have a good friend here, Jim Provato, who joins me. And we have a great meal, and we have a great Bible study. It's fun, it's educational, and it's one of the best days of my week. There's a lot of peace in that day, and a lot of love from our Lord in my life. So I appreciate it. I appreciate the opportunity. So, about a year later, after I've been working there, and this was December 2022, about a year later, I was asked to be a part of the board of directors as a treasurer. Now, my job is every month, I take the financials for the month before and present it to our board. At this point, I want to tell you guys a story that maybe some of you have heard. If you haven't heard it before, I want to say it again because it is a great story of how God has blessed this organization with all his many graces. Last year, at this time, I received the September financial reports. And I was preparing for the October meetings. And as I'm going through the financials, I see a line item on the financials that say, minus $104,000. Now, minus on this particular form is a plus, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was an accumulation of things throughout the year that I missed or something, but I just wasn't sure what it was. So I called up our accountant, and I said, hey, I'm struggling with the financial report this month because I have to prepare this for our board, and I don't know what it is. And he says, well, I didn't do your accounting this month. One of my other accountants did it. Hold on a second, let me pull it up. He pulls it up and he says, oh yeah, this $104,000, it's a loan payoff. And I said, what loan payoff? He said, hold on. He said, it's Middlefield Bank. I said, Middlefield Bank, the only loan we have with Middlefield Bank is our mortgage. He said, yeah, it's paid off. I said, that's impossible. He said, why would you say it's impossible? I said, because I don't know of anybody that paid it off. He goes, Paul, it's paid off. So I said, I'm calling Nathan right now. I'll call you back in a second. I call up Nathan. Nathan, what are you doing right now? What do you need? I said, do me a favor. Go on our bank account and open up the Middlefield Bank online account and tell me what you see. So I hear him clicking on the computer and I hear him say, closed account. And immediately I'm thinking, I don't know if that's good news or bad news. He goes, Paul, he goes, we got a zero balance. The house is paid off. I go, who paid it off? He goes, I have no idea. I go, you don't know who paid it off? He said, no. Is anybody talking about paying it off? Not that I'm aware of. But I'm going down to the bank right now. I want to find out what's going on because this might be a mistake. So he runs down to the bank. I called the CPA back and I said, hey, guess what? He said, what? He goes, I said, the house is paid off. He goes, I told you that. I said, I know, but I can't believe it. He said, praise God. I said, I am praising God, but I'm in shock right now. I said, let me ask you a question. Can anyone go in a bank and just pay off a loan? It says, Paul, I just got back from the bank. The loan is paid off. He goes, I talked to everybody at the bank. He goes, I know all the tellers. He says, and nobody knows who paid this off, and what they're telling me is that they paid off the loan at a different branch. So we don't know who it is. So 3 days later, and about 2 days before this fundraiser last year, we received a letter in the mail. And it said, our anonymity. The donation is from everyone who felt in their hearts, everyone in the room at the second annual fundraising dinner, everyone who has dropped off a piece of clothing, provided a dinner, a cash donation, or a donated an hour of their time. It's from everyone who simply said a prayer for the success of the Geauga Faith Rescue Mission. Geauga Faith Rescue Mission reminds us all that in troubling times, there is still a lot of good in the world. These blessings, so this is last year, and I mean, we obviously were in shock because we weren't expecting this to happen, but it was such a blessing. Because at the same time that we received this news, we were in the process of negotiating a lease on the house next door to the men's mission because the individual that owned it was selling it. So we communicated with this individual and asked him if he would offer us a 6-month lease with an option to buy. And he was a little hesitant about it. He obviously wanted to sell the house. Him and his wife were retiring. And we're now 3-4 months into this lease, and we're praying hard. And because God always provides, in March, a month and a half before that lease was up, we received another $80,000 anonymous donation from a foundation here locally. And in addition, $10,000 from a local church that's here tonight. And another $10,000 from individual donations from people that wanted to help out the women's shelter. That amount of money allowed us to pay the down payment on the house and put away the capital costs for all the construction that we needed to do, which, if you've driven by recently, you've seen it. We now have a 2-story building that will appropriately house the women that we want to have staying with us as guests at Geauga Faith Rescue Mission's Women's Shelter. God is good. All the time. All the time. The women's shelter, and he's going to do that for you.
Thank you, Paul. God oftentimes, as Paul was sharing, the timing, we get to a place where we're stressed out a little bit. It's like, we're nervous about how this is going to happen. How's the Lord going to provide? And we know that God is calling us to be there for those that are homeless, those that are struggling. And from our side of it, when we're the ones that are receiving the calls, every day he has provided so miraculously, and then it's just been a joy to see him doing that. And those acts of charity and contribution to making this mission possible it has not gone unnoticed. Even Cleveland 19 News came out and did a story on that donation. And so I would say that when we petitioned the city to be able to open a women's shelter, that the city gave us, it was an unanimous vote, and there was not one person that came out in opposition to it. And that is a testimony to the relationship and that we have built with the city and with the community, that they want to provide this women's shelter. And so we're very thankful for that. So we purchased the home, and we have, in this house, we got the city permission to house 4 women. That house only had 1 bedroom. We were going to take the living room and turn it into another bedroom, so we have 2 bedrooms, but it really didn't meet what we needed. And so Mark Hinesley brought out his construction crew and started giving us some ideas of what we could do, and they said, you know what, you could go up. And it's cheaper to go up than to build out and stuff like that, and there's not a whole lot of land there. We need every parking spot we can there. And so that's how that vision came to be, about being able to add to the women's shelter. And without that grant that came in and the generous donors that partnered with us to be able to make this possible, we couldn't even to dream about that. So we wanted to go up, but now we have the problem of, well, we still don't have the money to go up, not that kind of extensive remodel. And then we was able to reach out to the NOAA group. The NOAA is a nonprofit that is in Middlefield, where a lot of the Amish donate their time to. That they work with the youth to get them involved in their community. And so they said, we'll partner with you. And so they began to partner with us so that we could add a second story to it. And so what we have next is we're going to show you a time-lapse video of one day. This is one day of the crew coming out and how much they got accomplished. While they were there, I had the opportunity to ask them. Someone said, do you know what this house that you're working on is going to be? And they're like, no, we don't even know. We just volunteered to do something. And so we got to share with a lot of the young guys that are there what kind of impact they're helping make in the community and someone's lives by being a part of volunteering to build a shelter, a place of legacy, a place of hope, a place of transition for those that are struggling. And while they were eating, we provided dinner for them. We had one of our guests came out that was a talented musician, play the guitar for them, and you get to meet them. And it really helps someone whenever they get to meet those guests that we get to serve and the lives that we get to touch through those individuals. Well, today, and you guys, this is our first time getting to present this, today Noah was there this morning, and so you get to see their finished product of what they've done on the outside so far. It'll have 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, 2 bathrooms upstairs, 3 bedrooms upstairs. Downstairs we'll have a handicap usable bathroom and a handicap usable room downstairs as well. So we're very thankful that God's given us the finances, the ability, the relationships to be able to have this come together, and that the whole town is to see the community coming together to do something in the name of Christ that's going to bless other people. And every time they're going to be driving by, they're going to say, that's that place everybody.
You're going to take a quick break right now. We have a wonderful display of cookies and desserts available for you. If you haven't already taken some, choose wisely. And enjoy the bakers who have made this so special tonight. As your tables are called, I'm never going to call tables again, or just go up. I'm just going to say, if tables are called, please note that we've got 2 lines. You can go on both sides of the table, allowing you to take dessert from both sides. And also, for those of you who would like to order a box of holiday cookies, Dan Briesmeyer is back again and generously offering his time and great baking skills in running our holiday bake sale. Please sign up at the table designated in the back there at the bake sale table. And please note that this is limited to 60 orders this year. Thank you. 50. Thank you and enjoy. Keep your forks for your dessert. Thank you and enjoy your dessert. We'll be back in a little bit. Whoever's calling the tables, please call the tables or just go and get your dessert.
Tell them we'll come back on live in 1 minute. Hello, everyone watching from home. We're glad you're here watching it with us, and just want to let you know that we're going to be coming back online here in a little bit after we get dessert. Wish you were here getting some dessert with us.